Hey everyone, I think we'll get started. Thanks for joining us tonight. This is Nicole Karam, one of the co-chairs of our Wellness Committee. I'm excited to introduce you to our speaker, Christine Dwyer. Christine grew up in my hometown in upstate New York. She is a Beachbody coach and has been a group exercise instructor for over 29 years. Tonight, she is going to share some of her key tips on nutrition and exercise and then take us through a quick Tabata routine. I hope you all enjoy, and thank you so much, Christine, for putting this on for us.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nicole. I'm really pumped to be here, and thank you everyone for also being here. Like Nicole said, what I want to do is just go through some basics of exercise, nutrition, and how you can make small changes now that are lifestyle changes that become a habit and not a quick fix that puts you on a yo-yo train. So like she said, I've been a fitness instructor now for over 29 years. And for 15 of those years, I was a presenter, master trainer, working for fitness celebrity Chalene Johnson. And so I certified thousands of people in workout programs that are available in a lot of health clubs. And so my experience in fitness wasn't always something that I just knew I was going to get into. It actually started way back when I was in medical college. I was in medical college, and at the college in upstate New York in Syracuse, there was no sports. So I worked at the rec center and was the manager. And my manager told me, you know what, I'll pay for you to go get certified in group exercise because we want to start teaching. And I was like, all right, if you're paying, I'll do it. And I taught in a conference room with my homemade headset microphone to one girl twice a week. And that was how my journey started. And it was where I fell in love with how I could, first of all, find my own fitness, but also connect with other people to bring joy and movement and kind of camaraderie. So my fitness career, of course, expanded and was working throughout all of the gyms. But my career as a fitness professional, where I was the person and leading the fitness conferences, I was filming workout videos and certifying thousands of people. My career really kind of narrowed me into a problem that I had all of my life growing up, which is a constant battle of an all or nothing mentality, meaning you're either eating perfect, like dry chicken, broccoli, and rice, or everything's off and you're eating whatever you want. And so that's kind of been the battle that I've had growing up all through my 20s and even into my 30s. Now I'm a mom of 2 kids. I've got 3 labs, and that's why I'm hiding in my bedroom, because if I was out there, they would be attacking me. But the situation with trying to figure out where balance really comes into play is about you discovering where are you having struggle with constantly falling off the wagon. And for myself, I was a closet fitness professional yo-yo dieter that no one knew, because I knew exactly how to get my body in filming condition or conference condition in a matter of 3 weeks. And I would do everything that was absolutely horrible. You know, I would follow a lot of the bodybuilding training diets where they would follow them to strip off fat. And what it did was it really messed up my mind. It really messed up my relationship with food, and it really messed up what I could feel as normal. I would preach that everything in moderation, but I never really believed that because it didn't work for me, or so I thought. So it wasn't really until kind of I hit my 40s is when I found a person who was an ex-bodybuilder competitor, and she was doing a podcast, and she was talking about a way of eating, and it's in the intermittent fasting, flexible dieting stage of how you eat. And I was like, this is crazy. That's not what you're supposed to do. But what I said, you know what? Let me just start dabbling and trying this out. So I'm not saying you have to follow intermittent fasting, but what I am saying is this, is you have to find a balance that works for your lifestyle, your habits, and your rhythm. And my rhythm of where I struggled with food was mostly because I felt very restricted, and I had to rely a lot on willpower if I wanted to stay in great shape. And I couldn't go out to weekend socials with friends because I was on a diet or I was getting ready for a video shoot. And so the battle where I looked at my normal day-to-day is I enjoy going out on weekends for dinner with my family. And I also enjoy sitting on the couch at night and eating while I watch my Housewives of whatever city. And so for me, I looked at the fasting schedule, not so much to follow the intermittent fasting plan, but I looked at, okay, where are the windows of hours that I struggle the most? So in the afternoon, I struggle the most with cravings. I can eat great all throughout the morning and throughout the afternoon, But then when it comes to the late afternoon, evening time, that's where I really would struggle. And I would want to eat something really bad or have wine and a bunch of other things. So I just looked at where are my habits. And what I ended up doing was just adjusting the hours of when do I eat. And I put the hours of when I eat to when I want to eat. And that has allowed me to really take control over everything in moderation, pretty much like an 80-20 rule with everything in life, but also to really handle that I'm not on this big sweeping yo-yo. And so with nutrition, I just invite you not to look for the quick fix or something that is, you know, the buzzword for the time, because I was looking at this. You can't omit a food group for the rest of your life. You do have to find how your body and the rhythm of it works. And it may, you know, fluctuate as you age too. But that was something that I just want to first invite you to, because that has what helped me get off that roller coaster of constantly being on or off. So when we're moving into talking about exercise is something that, you know what, I've made my profession. So like Nicole said, I am a Beachbody coach. And what that means is I help people with their programs, their workouts, and their nutrition. I don't make them up because the company Beachbody has already made everything perfect for them, and I just plug people into the system. But what I do is I help people develop a business around it. So I help people become coaches and develop and help others with their health and fitness lifestyle as well. So that's been my career. But I was in the medical industry. I used to be an x-ray tech, and I used to work in digital sales and applications. But I was able to quit that career when I started to really work more with Chalene Johnson and her company in the fitness industry and certifying instructors. But with all of it, what I found is, you know what? I need to build in layers to make me want to do it, even when there's those times you don't want to do it, and you got to build those layers of accountability. So second thing I wanted to talk about really was there's information overload, especially nowadays. Now, especially with what we're dealing with, every person out there who has an idea of how to do a squat is putting a video out there saying, hey, follow me, I'm doing live workouts. There's no shortage of workouts online. You can go on an app, you can go on YouTube, even on Facebook Live, a bunch of gyms are doing things on their live. You will find fitness, whether you want it for free or if you want to pay for it. But it's gonna possibly overwhelm you that you kind of don't know what to do. And then the other option is, because there is so much variety, you might be scattered doing a bunch of different kinds of workouts that may not be effective for, first of all, your goal, but then also moving you in the right direction for the best way to train your body each week. Because when you're looking at your fitness regimen each week, it really should be consisting of resistance weight training, cardio, HIIT cardio, and stretching for the most part. So if we're looking at random workouts that just look good for the day, or the girl on YouTube has abs, that may not always get you to where you want to go. So my advice always is to really step back from what you're getting inundated with exercise all online, but pick a system and start to follow it. Now, you know, with consistency, that's where you're going to get the results. So yes, you can go on and off the wagon. You know, a lot of times people will say, especially because I'm in the fitness industry, I hear it all the time, that a lot of people say, yeah, I got to get back to working out. That's a struggle, because life is you should move your body. So there's going to be ebbs and flows of when you're really doing good, but you have to work to try to build in just exercise as a lifestyle, that it's not an on or off choice. It should just be normal. It's like you drinking water. That's just part of what you should do every day to live. So when you're looking at, well, what do I do? We wanted to really talk about in this lecture here about keeping it simple. Because again, there's a lot out there, there's information overload. But what we want to focus on is, no matter what your situation is, no matter where you are, what can you do to really still stay in the mode of exercise and even progress, if you're looking to make progress. Now, in the beginning of March, before this became a pandemic, we were off on vacation. My husband, my family, and I, we were off in Exuma, Bahamas. And Exuma, if you've ever been there, is the most like remote island. There's nothing around. It's a bunch of just trees. And that's exactly what I love. But when we were down there, we chose to stay longer just because of the pandemic happening, that I didn't have anything with me but a resistance band and videos online. Thankfully, I had that because I'm not limited to where I am. I'm not limited to I'm on vacation or what's going on with businesses. So if you look at what can I do that's going to work for me, let's keep it simple. I'm not a fan of change everything or you're doing it wrong. Let's start where you are, and where you might be is different than someone else. Someone else may already be in the habit of exercise, but their nutrition might be all off. So decide where you are and try not to be perfect in all areas. The one thing that you can do is, again, keep everything simple. And maybe it might be just changing one thing. What I'm going to be showing you is just a quick little Tabata exercise, and I'll explain what Tabata is, but it's basic moves that you can do 3 of them or 6 of them, depending on how long you want your workout to be. So if you just want a 15-minute workout, you can just do 3 of these exercises and you would get a fantastic workout. Obviously, what you put effort for is what your results are going to be. Now, something else that we want to talk about is how can we make this work? Well, what I said earlier was what changed for me and why I made this pretty much my career is layering in all the ability of having accountability. So you may want to get what we call a success partner, someone who's going to hold you to it. And you would text each other and say, all right, you working out today? Or are you working out today? Like my girlfriend just did that to me today. I was sitting at my desk working and she texted me and said, I'm going to work out outside right now. Log into the virtual gym and work out with me. I'm like, all right, let's go. So she made me, because of our accountability, go at that moment. So you might need a person that holds you to it. And if you don't have a person, there's many other options. For instance, there's, you can make a group text out of all of you all. You can make a group text, or you could create or join a Facebook group that are holding people to accountability. Like I have one of those, as well as this is just one simple thing you could do that requires no one. And this is what I did, especially when I was trying to lose the second baby weight, is I just went on social media and told people what I was going to do. Because, you know, if you're telling people what you're going to do, then you have to follow through and do it. So you feel like there's a lot more responsibility to, oh, I better follow through and do this because I just told my Instagram story that I was going to go and do this little Tabata workout today. So you got to show up. You have to go and do it. So you might not have a person. You might not have a Facebook group, but you do have social media. And social media, just act like they're depending on you to follow back up and say you did it. Even if you only have 1 follower, just act like you told someone and now you have to follow through and do it. So something that we want to think about when we are doing our workouts is, okay, how often should we be doing it? Well, everyone is different, first of all, and what I'm going to do today might not be exactly what your body wants to do. You might want to change some of the moves. Remember, there is no perfect workout. There is no perfect nutrition. And one thing is not going to work for everyone. But in a generality, even if you could just create a habit to do this workout maybe 3 to 4 times a week or something 3 to 4 times a week, you're in forward motion. How do you create those habits? Again, that accountability, following a check-in list, but creating a habit is about creating triggers as well. So one of the triggers for me is I drank a pre-workout drink. It's an energy drink. And so when I'm not really wanting to go work out, I'll go and I'll drink it because now I know, okay, there's no going back. I've got 15 minutes and I better start to get working out or I might start sweating. So find moments where you're going to hold yourself to add a trigger that is going to put you in motion to follow through and do it. And before we get through the exercises, what should you do? My best advice when you are limited for time or space or equipment is when you are doing your workout, think about full body range of motion. We're trying to incorporate using complete muscle utilization. So some of these exercises I'm going to show you today, you're going to see, I'm going to show you 6. You're going to see that it's a complete total body workout. I'm utilizing every muscle in my body. But the way that Tabata works, it works great for my brain, is because you only have to work for 20 seconds. And that's why I'm like, I love Tabata, because it's only 20 seconds. I could do 20 seconds, and then you get 10 seconds rest. And then you go hard again for 20 seconds, and then you get 10 seconds rest. So that's why Tabata, I think, is one of the best workouts you could do. I teach it live in a group that we're going to be sharing with you every other Saturday. And I really think it's one of the most effective workouts you could do because it's basic, simple moves that you just do for 20 seconds. and then you get a 10-second rest. And you, again, can do it for a short amount of time, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or maybe even 45 minutes, however it works for you. But one thing you want to think about getting, if you are going to do Tabata, is I use a free app because it's got the timer on it. So I don't have to count 20 seconds. And if I don't know if you could see it here, let's see, where am I in my camera? So this is the app. It's just called Tabata, T-A-B-A-T-A, Tabata app, and it's free. And what that will do is it sets a timer for you that you'll hear a little buzzer going off, deep, 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 and it will count down for 20 seconds for you. And then the buzzer will go off again and it will count down 10 seconds for you. So this allows you to just really push in the movement and get the most out of it without having to pay attention to anything else. And put on like your best music that you love, really get into it. And if you just go hard with your movements, you're going to see success. What does go hard mean? Does that mean you have to be plyometrics? No, go hard means push your body to failure. And that could be low impact, and it could just be deep squats. It doesn't have to be high impact and jumping. And my advice always is to make sure that you do follow with where your body is, and you might need to go low impact. Someone's on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to the space here. I'm going to turn my light on and show you some of the moves that we can go through that you can cover for Tabata. So let me turn my little light on here. Woo! Is that too light? All right, so I'm back here. Let me take this off here. So we've got 6 exercises. And as I said, for Tabata, all you do is decide on how many exercises you want to go. And the rule of thumb is if you're doing 3 exercises, it should take you 15 minutes to do the workout. So if you've got 6, like we're gonna go over, that's a 30-minute workout, including a little bit of a warm-up. Now with your warm-up, all you really wanna think about is making sure that you do large range of motions. So I'm sitting back in a squat, and obviously if you're sitting back in a squat, you wanna be sure that your hips are going back. I always like to wiggle my toes while I'm in my sneakers down there so I know that I'm kicking my hips to the back. Do large range of motion movements. You can go side to side, you can lunge back and forth, whatever. Just kind of warm up for about 5 minutes. So one of the first exercises that you could do is very simple, but super effective because it's a total body movement. And that's an ice skater. So you can stay low impact and stay low with your ice skater. And I always suggest use these athletic arms because it twists your core and the whole movement. Or if you want to make it high impact, you can leap. But all you're going to do is go for 20 seconds as hard as you can go, and then you get that 10-second break. And then you do it again. What that is, 8 times. 8 times. So you're doing ice skaters 8 times, 20 seconds each, and then it's gone. So now this is where I'm going to get breathless because I'm going to be pushing up right here. Okay, so the next move that is a fantastic move you could do. It's one of the best ones you could do and probably one of the hardest ones to do because it's a plank. And plank requires a good alignment of your body with head to hips and heels. Making sure I'm here. Okay. So we're going to start in a full plank. You can modify by coming down to knees, which I always suggest first start in plank, then drop to your knees if you're going to modify. But our goal with what this exercise is going to be for 20 seconds, just 20 seconds, you want to do plank walks. What that's going to do is it's strongly going to work on your core, but it's also going to work on your shoulders, your triceps, and your biceps, all in your arms. So with plank walks, just go 2 by 2. So here I am. I have my hips level, head, shoulders, hips, heels, and I'm just going to step, step. Now what starts to happen as you start to get tired is your hips are going to start to rise up. One thing to note is when your hips are rising up, you lost your ab stability and control. So really it's ineffective. What should you do if you start to lose your form? Drop to your knees or just hold plank. Stop the exercise. So give yourself permission to change the exercise. You don't have to do it exactly as that video workout or like I'm showing you. Change the exercise to be effective for you. All right, next one. This one's one of my favorite ones. I call it surfboard. Surfboard is, again, a total body exercise. We're gonna push for 20 seconds, 10 seconds rest, and we just do it for 8 times. So surfboard, just like you're on a surfboard, you're gonna look forward, down the wave. I don't surf, but that's just what I'm assuming. And we sit down with your hips back. Notice when you're sitting in a squat, you do not bend from the knees. You wanna sit those hips back, chest is up. So we sit in surfboard. Now to stay low impact, you're gonna look down the wave. You can step into it. And this is so effective for the core, the glutes, for all of the legs. Now, do you wanna make it harder? You can always make it harder by jumping into your surf, but keep the focus down the wave. And you can add that little jack. So those are 3 exercises. We just did 15 minutes. Pretend, okay. Now, this is what we're gonna do next. I like, personally for me, and you're gonna find, you know, different fitness instructors schedule how they do their exercises totally different. For me, when I'm doing a Tabata workout, I like to do a lot of lower body, then a lot of upper body. So we kind of give parts of the body rest. So this next exercise, the 4th one, is just your good old mountain climber. So, let me see which way we're gonna go. Back in our plank. Again, you could be on your knees. You can pull one knee in at a time and really drive it back. Or if you're going to take it up a notch, that's where your knees are off the floor. And you drive, drive. Now, as you start to pick up speed, and as you start to get tired, the butt starts to go up. We know the rules on that. It don't work. So we have to make sure we slow down, drop the hips, maybe just hold plank. But your goal is to keep your shoulders over your palms and drive your knees in and push right back. Now remember, it's only 20 seconds. So you want to push as hard as you can for 20 seconds. And as you start to get tired, what's going to happen is you should slow down, just hold plank until the buzzer goes off. Remember, you've got the degradation. You start with the hardest part, and then as you start to lose form, slow it down, modify by dropping to your knees, holding plank. You've got that degradation before you quit, because there's no quit. Just find a different way. Okay, here's another one of my favorites. I got 2 more favorites. You ready? Okay, so this next one is called the double Heisman. It's a single, double Heisman, really. So the little statue, if you know, what is it, this way? That football player, if we all remember what football players are anymore. Okay, so the double Heisman. So we're gonna take the knee straight up to the same shoulder. Now this is a telltale sign that you gotta go to the bathroom. We're not doing that. We're going straight up, straight up. What does that do? Is it activates the core. It brings your core in tight. So we're staying athletic, keeping the knee to the same shoulder. In a low impact option, you're gonna go single, single, double. Single, single, double. Now, if you wanna make this more aggressive, just be more athletic and travel more. Now, obviously I'm limited on space here, but I would wanna travel as much as I can. Single, single, double. And notice how I'm breathing. Always focus on the breath during the hardest part. So again, let me get some space here. We're gonna go timers on. 3, 2, 1. Single, single, double. 1, 2, down, down, down. Notice you've got that core squeezing in. All right, so take a deep breath, everyone. So I know that you're doing this with me. I know you just can't help it. Find some music on, we'd be all good. All right, last exercise. One of my favorites. You ready? We're gonna take a spin on the burpee. The burpee, oh boy, it's a good bad thing. Now, my advice is make sure that when you're putting your hands down, your hands are flat. So no matter how you're doing your burpee, there's tons of variations out there. But what we wanna do is do the safest way for speed, because that's our goal, and full body range of motion. So you can see me, I'm gonna go to the wood. Your hands wide open. When you put them down, careful that you're not putting them up in a tripod. You want the palms flat, because what you're doing is, it is a bit of plyometrics when you're shooting your foot back. And if we have our hands on just the fingers, that's adding force to our fingers, and we don't want that. So you want to be sure that your palms are flat. I'll show you a modification on this, but this is a Frogger burpee. I'm going to suggest that you have legs open wide on those sumo Frogger burpees. So what's Frogger? Remember that? That was my favorite game. We didn't have it. My girlfriend up the street had it, but Frogger was the best. We were trying to get across that street. That's what we're going to do with our burpees. So we're going to get up into the street. We're a frog. Legs are open wide. Hands go flat. Step or shoot back. Come back in again wide. And you go back. So you shoot back, down, and up. Shoot up, down, back. It's only 20 seconds. Now, what can you do to modify this? Obviously, your speed is going to be a modification. You don't have to go super fast, but you can even stay up. You can still Frogger, modify, one leg back, up. Modify, one leg back, up. So notice how I'm still adding in reverse, which is going to help you with your hip flexors, glutes, core, everything. So those are 6 exercises that if we just did them 20 seconds for a time, take 10 seconds rest, 8 times in a row, then we get a minute break. Woo! Then we do the exercise 2. We do that 8 times, and then we get a minute break. Nice. So that's where Tabata is so effective. Let me turn this baby down. There we go. Tabata is so effective because you decide what you have time for. And my advice is to always choose upper, lower focus, upper body, lower body focus, and just do what you can. Because it's better to just go for 15 minutes than to skip. And where's that trigger? Is the trigger that you just told social media you're gonna go do it? Is the trigger that you are drinking an energy drink? What is the trigger that is gonna make you go do it? Is it that you go and put your workout clothes on? You gotta now move forward. So find a way to push forward to make you have the success. Now, what I do, as I said, I do a lot of health and fitness. I teach normally live in the gym, but because of the situation that we have right now, things are different. My girlfriends, 2 of my instructor friends, professional fitness instructors, what we did was we put together a group where we teach live workouts pretty much once per day. And what happens is they actually stay in the group. So there's a bunch of recorded workouts in there too. So I've got a little URL. I don't know if it's going to display straight or not. I think it's backwards. So maybe we could flip the video, but I'll say what it is. How's it look like that? Can't see it. All right. So if you want to join our group, come on in, do the live workouts with us. Like I said, I'm going to be teaching Tabata live on Saturday at 10 a.m. It's only 30 minutes. You can do it, and you're going to pour sweat. And then on Sundays, I do a strength training 30-minute class as well. An interval style, goes really quick. But the good thing is it's not just me. You've got 2 other instructors in there, so you get some variety. And you don't have to wait for us to go live if you just want to do one of the recorded workouts. In there, I teach turbo kick, if you're familiar with that. I teach Payo, then the strength training, Tabata, and a dance class as well. But you can get into the group. It's all free, as well as, because I am a Beachbody coach, I also have a PDF that we have 10 free workouts from Beachbody. And if you just want to get them, the URL is backwards here, but let me explain it to you. It's Christine Dwyer, DWYER, lpages.co/workouts. And there's my contact info. It's easy enough. Christine at ChristineDwyer.com and ChristineDwyer.com. Pretty simple, just my name. Okay. So in there though, so you'll get access to our free group if you want. And then also in that same email, you'll get a PDF that lists 10 different workouts that are free from Beachbody, from bar blend to a new shadow boxing workout called 10 rounds, as well as one of the workouts I did today called The Work. It's a very athletic training. There's a lot of free workouts in there. Mastin Mace, 21-day extreme. There's a bunch of different ones in there, variety. So go grab that. You've got something to follow from the professionals. And then if you want to follow some of us other professionals in a different way, come into our group. I'd love to have you, and feel free to reach out to me to help you with your journey, because that's what I do. I like to help people move forward in success with their goals. But I'm so grateful that you took the time to be here, as well as for Nicole to ask for me to be a part of this with y'all. I hope that we get to stay connected. Otherwise, thank you so much again, and have a great rest of your night.
Thanks, Christine. Thank you, everyone.